Let's start with some examples on the questions of function. Question 1. If fx is two x minus 1 when x is less than 0, 1 when x is equals to 0, and 3x plus 2 when x greater than 0, then find the values of first f minus 2 second, f2 third, f5 fourth, f minus 5. Number 5, pre-image of 6. Number 6, pre-image of minus 8. चलिए, now how we solve this? We are having the definition of fx in 3 different intervals. When x is less than 0, the definition of fx is 2x minus 1. When x equals to 0, the definition of fx is 1. When x is greater than 0, the definition of fx is 3x plus 2. Now we need f of minus 2. Minus 2 means x is less than 0. So here we will use the definition fx equals to 2x minus 1. So f of minus 2 is 2 into minus 2 minus 1, that is minus 5. Now if we need to find f of 2, 2 is what? X greater than 0. For greater than 0, fx is 3x plus 2. This implies f of 2 will be 3 into 2 plus 2, that is 8. I need f of 5. 5 is again greater than 0 quantity. So f of 5 will be f of x for this will be 3x plus 2. So f of 5 will be 3 into 5 plus 2, that is 17. F of minus 5, number less than 0. For this fx is 2x minus 1. So f of minus 5 is 2 into minus 5 minus 1, that is minus 11. Now in the fifth question, what they asked us? They asked about the pre-image. As I already told you, then in y equals to fx, the pre-image is the value of x. So we are given what? Y, we need to find x. So here y is 6, and since y equal to fx for 6 is 3x plus 2. We need to find the pre-image of 6. Now for y is equal to 6, we have two type of functions from which we should take the pre-image. Now we have to think that y equal to 6 comes from which one? So here we can find the image from both the functions. 2x minus 1 can be equal to 6. 3x plus 2 can be equal to 6. From this x is 7 by 2 and from this x is 4 by 3. In both the cases x is greater than 0. So here in this question, pre-image of 6 or minus 8 is absurd case because we are not defined which function to take. So we will write, we cannot find the pre-image of 6 and minus 8 as the function is different for different x. We will find pre-images in our next example. You can note the example. I am giving you the time to note it out. Let's start the next thing. we have learned earlier that what is real valued function, images and pre-images in real valued function. Now we will learn domain and range of real valued functions. Real valued functions means in all those questions where we are not given that function is defined from A to B or what. In those type of questions, how we find domain? So for real valued function, what is domain? The definition is definition of domain is this. Domain क्या होगा? उसकी definition देखिए. All those values of x for which a function fx is defined are known as values of domain. वो x की सारी वैल्यू जिसके लिए कोई फंक्शन डिफाइंड होता है वो वैल्यूज डोमेन की वैल्यूज कहलाती हैं. अब आपको ये पता होना चाहिए कि फंक्शन डिफाइंड कब होता है, अनडिफाइंड कब होता है. तो आप समझिए, a function fx is undefined if it takes any one of the following values. Any one of the following values, that is, if fx becomes 0 by 0 or infinity by infinity or infinity plus infinity or infinity minus infinity or 0 power infinity or infinity power infinity or negative in square root or negative in logarithm. In all these types, the function becomes undefined. In all above types, the function becomes undefined. Thus, to calculate domain, either we can calculate those real values for which a function is defined, or we can calculate defined, those values will be domain, or we can calculate those values for which the function is undefined, then domain will be all real numbers except those values of x for which fx is undefined. This is the best way to find the domain. किसी भी फंक्शन का डोमेन कैलकुलेट करने के लिए दो तरीके हैं. या तो आप वो वैल्यूज ले आइए या कैलकुलेट कर लीजिए जिनके लिए फंक्शन डिफाइंड हो, या फिर आप वो वैल्यूज ले आइए जिनके लिए फंक्शन अनडिफाइंड हो और उनको रियल नंबर में से माइनस कर दीजिए. बची हुई वैल्यूज के लिए फंक्शन डिफाइंड हो जाएगा तो वो बची हुई वैल्यूज उनका डोमेन हो जाएगी. एग्जाम्पल लेते हैं हम. fx equals to 1 by x. As it is very clear that fx is undefined at x equals to 0, because at x equals to 0 fx is equals to infinite. Thus domain will be all real number except 0. सारे रियल नंबर में से 0 को हटा दीजिए हैं वो डोमेन है जिसको हम ऐसे भी लिख सकते हैं आर नॉट, और इसको इंटरवल की फॉर्म में हम ऐसे भी लिख सकते हैं। इन दिस फंक्शन, ये फंक्शन x इक्वल टू 0 पे क्या था? अनडिफाइंड था। अनडिफाइंड क्यों था? क्योंकि जैसे ही आप x को 0 डालते हैं इनफाइनाइट आ रहा है, इनफाइनाइट आ रहा है मतलब फंक्शन क्या है? अनडिफाइंड। तो आप ऑल रियल नंबर में से 0 को क्या कर दीजिए? माइनस। बची हुई सारी वैल्यूज के लिए फंक्शन क्या है? डिफाइंड है। तो बची हुई सारी वैल्यूज के लिए अगर फंक्शन डिफाइंड है तो वही वैल्यूज उसका क्या होगी? डोमेन होगी। अब यहां डोमेन को लिखने के तीन तरीके हो सकते हैं। देयर आर थ्री वेज टू राइट द डोमेन। r minus curly braces 0 means all real numbers में से we have deducted 0. We can write it r0. r0 means भी यही होता है all real numbers except 0. Third way to write it in intervals minus infinity to 0 union 0 to infinity. आप इसको नोट डाउन कर सकते हैं। Let's take another example. Example 2. fx equals to 1 upon x minus 1. Here it is very clear that fx is undefined when denominator is 0. When denominator is 0, that is x minus 1 is 0, implies x equals to 1. This implies domain is equals to all real numbers except 1, that is minus infinity to 1 union 1 to infinity. यहाँ बहुत क्लियर है, जैसे ही आप x को 1 डालते हैं ये फंक्शन इनफाइनाइट बन जाता है, और इनफाइनाइट मतलब ये हो गया अनडिफाइंड। इसलिए 1 को छोड़ के बाकी सारी रियल वैल्यूज पे ये फंक्शन क्या है? डिफाइंड है। इसलिए इसका डोमेन क्या हुआ? ऑल रियल नंबर्स एक्सेप्ट 1। लेट्स टेक अनदर एग्जांपल। fx is equals to root x. Here it is very clear that fx will be undefined for all negative values of x. Since all negative values of x, this implies domain will be what? All real number minus all negative values minus infinity to 0. So domain becomes 0 to infinity. Here I have used close bracket on 0 because we can include 0 in our domain. At x is equal to 0, this function is defined. Another example, example 4. fx is equals to root of x minus 2. Here it is very clear that fx will be undefined when x minus 2 less than 0. This implies x less than 2. So domain will be all real numbers minus x less than 2, that is 2 to infinity. जैसे ही हम x को 2 से छोटा डालते हैं ये फंक्शन अनडिफाइंड हो जाता है। तो वो सारी वैल्यूज जिसके लिए x 2 से बड़ा होगा तो ये फंक्शन डिफाइंड हो जाएगा, और अगर ये फंक्शन डिफाइंड होगा तो ये इसका डोमेन बन जाएगा 2 to infinity. Let's take some more examples. Example 5. fx equals to 1 upon root x minus 2. Here it is very clear that fx will be undefined when x minus 2 become less than and equal to 0. Because in denominator if we get 0, then anything upon 0 will be what? Infinite. So whenever x is less than equal to, x minus 2 is less than equal to 0, the function will be undefined. That is x less than equal to 2. Function is undefined when x is less than equal to 2. So domain is all real number minus x less than equal to 2, that is 2 to infinity. Here I have not included 2 in my domain because 2 was included all in those values where fx is not defined. So here the domain is 2 to infinite. Another example, fx is 1 upon 4 minus x square. Here again, here fx will be undefined if 4 minus x square is 0, this implies x square is 4, this implies x is plus minus 2. So domain is all real numbers minus plus minus 2, that is minus infinity to minus 2 union minus 2 to 2 union 2 to infinity. You can see the examples and take a note out of it. So these were the examples on domain of functions. Domain of function is a very important question for IIT itself. Each and every year, so many questions comes in all examinations. So for IIT level questions of this domain, we will solve the questions in our other videos. In these videos, we are telling you the basics of the chapter functions. You can note it.